cái gì gặp boy. This is the place I went. Lai chỗ mình là. Lai cái gì gặp big game. Jessi James Hideout, Missouri. Và hiện nay mình có không trả viên, Meramec cáiวันkhông trả viên, selfie cái là vai này, cái tiếng nông kỹ sát bể sẽ. Tôi hiện ticket là viên cái tiếng ticket cái này tiếng ngồi là hiện, sunga công lũ điều hay tai. Guys, enjoy the video. Meramec cáiวัน, time to vlog inside the CAVERN. Meramec cáiวัน, Jessi James. Hotels, I mean, they have a hotel. Nè tiếng sát tiếng ông đã này hiện. Single scoop. Ticket là yêu tiền lẽ. Shopping mall thì bằng lại very expensive for him. We're going inside the CAVERN now. Hi. Hello. Riêng tan. Nhưng mà bôi thì còn hay. Sao em đang. Okay. Hello, ta vinh cái tiếng na. CAVERN, Meramec. Missouri, the cave state exploration. See here, like come here, cave ticket, moonshine cabin, stays, ballroom. Cái tay cái gì đó, tay cái gì đó, cái gì đó, see lại công gì đó here. Kenapa jauh tak boleh?
First, when ask you want to pre-tip the guy any selection or bring up the next screen. If that's a tapping card, you'll tap it right there.
Okay. So we will be having a guide, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mingana.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
26.8 miles of cave.
Okay.
Lost them. Never be found.
Nếu mà sao ông khách tê họ cafe, nhìn này thổ xuân à. Wow. Cafe muốn ta cái gì cái itu banga hi anok lam hi kamu khapo en si cafe khat ve hi mi tam ta to chi khom ding thanong men na. Meramec cái one Jessi James Hideout cái ti na. Tu sim dong hi ngai pa yang sei ding a hin na ngai ho ka nga de wa hi tai.
This is our authentic moonshine and cavet. And despite the sign above, it actually has nothing to do with Meramec Caverns. So, you guys actually want to look inside. We found this floating about 3 miles down the river. Figured it'd add to the charm of the cave. We also found a little moonshine still floating with it, so a little cool artifact. If you look inside as well, you can see what the cave floor would have looked like before we laid all this concrete down. Okay. If you look a little further back, you actually see my buddy Moonshine and Pete. Might be taking a nap, so. What do you guys ready?
So what is this for?
This is our grand ballroom.
What about this one?
That's for classrooms and whatnot.
Classroom.
School kids come through. We have little activities for them to do and whatnot.
Okay.
I personally don't do the classrooms, so I don't give you too much information on that.
Okay, that's
That is another guy. But
Okay.
this is our grand ballroom. We used to hold all sorts of events in here. Wedding nights, prom nights, the military balls. You name it, we held it here. And even before that, before 1933, whenever the cave was commercialized, locals would actually drive their cars up into the entrance of the cave and park them right about where that green screen is. They'd line the walls with lanterns and put down a 20 by 20 platform, have all sorts of hoedowns and shindigs and whatnot. But there's another thing I'd like to note about this part of the cave, and that is the fact that you're not seeing any formations around you. That is actually because of the material we see above. That is dolomite limestone.
limestone.
Now, that's about 10 times as dense as the concrete we're standing on, which doesn't allow for a whole lot of moisture to get through. But in the later parts of the tour, it's going to soften up and we're going to see some greater formations. But before we get to that,
What is this?
So, you see that you guys are curious. This is actually a replica of Foucault's free-swinging pendulum. Now, what it is meant to do is measure the Earth's rotation using its gravity and basically act like a big swinging clock. but it was built by a bunch of high schoolers in the 50s. So there are a couple things that actually keep it from doing it. I'll sit right here. But again, in 1941, that changed whenever Missouri got hit with one of the worst droughts it's had in decades. Now that dropped that pool of water down to just about nothing, and that allowed for 2 tour guides to notice and go do a little exploring. And this is where the story of Frank and Jessi James actually begins at Meramec Caverns. But I gotta make a phone call and turn off some lights. Just give me 1 second. No further ado, trash can ahead.
We keep moving. Water.
Feel free to go on through, just no further than the red light.
I'll meet you at that 2 doors up there, guys.
Wow, ได้กี่กิโลแล้วครับ
So, this is what those 2 tour guides had happened across. They found a clay bed with what we like to call loot rock, because of the many artifacts we found surrounding it. Now, of the many artifacts, we can only keep 4 for preservation reasons, but they are still quite notable. You have a rifle barrel, a double barrel, a lantern, and a strongbox, which contained a couple of gold and silver coins, which we traced back to a train robbery in 1876. Now, this also happens to be the same year that the Sheriff of Sullivan reported chasing Frank and Jessi James down to this very cave.
Oh, là tuy mình là tuy. Jessi James escape section.
As we're passing on by, you're going to notice 2 shadowy figures off in the distance.
Yeah.
Now, that's about hip deep right there. The water's a little low today. Usually it's about chest deep. That water is freezing cold.
Oh.
Now, we have a piping system to keep it from flooding down here. If you actually grab the hand railings, they dual as the piping for our system. That's how cold the water is. Stays just above freezing year round. It's naturally fed spring water.
Okay.
That water's actually clean enough to drink right there, but it's so mineral rich you might pass a kidney stone. So beware.
No. So can we consume the water? It's drinkable? The
It's
water?
drinkable.
Okay.
But we do not touch that because we try to be as low intervention as possible with
I
the
understand,
environment.
yeah.
I've actually caught people
Drinking.
stop right here. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a bridge, and I've watched people lay down on their stomachs whenever I'm
Okay.
not looking and just try to do it that way. But no, as you guys can see, we're actually getting into some softer parts of the cave, and you're going to start to see some smaller formations pop up.
Yes.
Now, these smaller ones are known as speleothems.
Speleotherapies.
Otherwise known as soda straw stalactites, because whenever they begin to grow, they're long, spindly, and hollow on the inside. Now, as they grow and as they get bigger, once they turn into these more carrot-like ones, they actually fill out in the middle and they're no longer hollow. I will say, it's about 100 years on average for a cubic inch to grow. So something like that could be 300 years old. Oh. But, when you guys are ready, you can follow me.
走ตามตับตาม
Nothing else in here. Oh no.
She's saying I'm scared.
Cái giọng họ vang về gì?
$25,000.
In on itself, the water starts to rise, and Lassie, being the intelligent dog she is,
Kev,
notices
wow,
something is
Kev.
wrong and calls for help. Once again, saving the day, it's saving those lives. Of course, you would have entered into that episode, and that is right where the camera would have been. Is it stone or is it? There's concrete. This, I will say, we built it along the original river path. That is where the river is today, but this is actually an oxbow lake. And this is what we use for overflow nowadays whenever it does start to flood. Got a little ditch, and that continues on another 2 miles back that way.
2 miles?
2 miles?
Yeah. We actually used to have a nuclear fallout shelter back there during the height of the Cold War. They figured with the dolomite being so dense, it wouldn't allow for any nuclear fallout to like seep through. But it does flood down here. It sucked out an estimated $2 million, inflation adjusted, out of the cave in one day. It was pretty intense. If you're above the height of 5'10" for this next part, please do watch your head. It's a great example of, you can see how they were hollow whenever they start to grow. Kind of looks like an octopus suction cup. A bunch of them. But as you can see, once they get bigger, that hole starts to close. But I do know that one right there specifically. I know that big one because they did push it. Takes so long. That material is so dense and heavy. If they were to cut that big one down, not even. If they were to cut this one down, they couldn't carry it. It's so heavy. It's so dense.
So this is the last stop. We go back again?
It's only halfway.
Halfway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we have to go over the rails and then.
No, not from this one.
We go into the upper parts and we got a bunch of cool lights and whatnot. Almost looking like a canyon. That's what we also like to call it our mini Grand Canyon.
Si fit niam kat nahi in, in la iam an loal fit zakat la nas tu na ki muta nahi. It's just the mirror. Itulah. Gemei mo ngat tu dan so.
This is what we like to call Onyx Mountain. Now, despite the name, this is actually just one big stalagmite. It grew so tall on this side that it actually cut off its own water source, causing this side to be deactivated. You can tell by the gray-brown discoloration. Now this is about 500 feet in circumference, 26 feet tall, and estimated to be over 36 million years old. Now, there still is an active side of Onyx Mountain right there, if you guys want to follow me on up. Shows off all of the minerals.
Nam se na. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Wow. This is amazing.
See.
Now, the different minerals that we're actually seeing here, now, the white is actually calcite, which is a calcium buildup. Red and brown is iron. And black is manganese, otherwise known as black onyx, hence the name Onyx Mountain. Now, the way that this typically would work is, water would cascade down off of Onyx Mountain, depositing minerals as it goes. It would come across our pathway into what we like to call Crystal Lake.
Oh!
Woo!
Wow!
Wow.
Look like bamboo suit. Go to the Drake Don Drake.
Caverns.
It's so. Soy, soy.
Soften.
Wow! Thank you.
This comes with a couple of holidays. First one being Christmas. We also got St. Patrick's Day. The 4th of July. That's the regular one. You've also got Valentine's Day.
Romantic man.
My personal favorite, Halloween.
Halloween. How to meet in the Kalnom, the Kalnom, what it is.
Wow.
Wow, my God.
Okay, come. Jeff, Brazilian, isn't it?
Here, if you give me your phone, I'll actually.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yes, I did though.
What is this for? Lime table?
This is the boxroids.
But choice, okay, but choice.
Botroids. Boxroids.
Okay,
But this is a regonite formation.
I guess.
This happened because we had a prom night with some high school kids. They snuck up here and had a pull-up competition on it. They broke it. But the cool thing about this is where it broke, the cave naturally heals itself. So it's been a couple of decades. It's starting to glue itself back together with that calcium. Now, it could stand on its own without that pole right now.
I have a high tech guitar here. Stay with you, heaven and stay with the pity.
As we're coming on down, you'll notice the one that has fallen off on its own. That actually looks like the rings of Saturn. Please make sure that the flash on your camera is off. It is a light show. If you have the flash on, it will disrupt the light show. Well, when you're ready,
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Now,
This is amazing.
ladies and gentlemen, this is what we like to call our grand stage curtain. Stands at 77 feet tall, 52 feet wide, and 35 and a half feet thick at its thickest point. Now, if you look off to the right-hand side, you can actually see our very own backstage. And off to the left, we have our natural curtains party, as well as a naturally sunken orchestral pit, complete with a little bit of green sludge. Sorry the band couldn't make it today. But above we have our nosebleed section for the busier times in the summertime, complete with not one, but 2 stalactite chandeliers. One right here and one right there. Now, we're going to turn on the lights so you guys can get some better pictures of this structure. This is a no longer active waterfall.
No waterfall.
Used to be a waterfall at one point until it caught off.
Okay, like it will lose the waterfall.
Now, the way that you get this is, it would hit the different ledges, and the wind would manipulate it into doing this unique wavy pattern that we see. This is estimated to be over 76 million years old.
76 million years old.
Now, another thing is,
Who recorded
our
that?
show is dedicated to the brave men and women who fought valiantly for our country. We would like to thank them for our service, for their service. I hope you guys enjoy this show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh, pakai patien tu hila second chronicle pon sik.
Yeah, I like this.
Yes. Take picture of this one.
Yeah. We love
Movie
this
time.
country.
No. كيف أكون كومبوت أوفين بامانغ هيتين كيف أكون كسيم بنوم تا سوهي زو أوفين من وان تام تيلا كيلومين لنا هسيبين كو $1,250 منهين لخ منهين لام بيا هي لخ سان سوم جيت سي ألين باهي $5,000 منهين تسو إنديا سماسي دينغا سو لك تمهو والمنهين si le sang som git man in chok ngam de nan man tam the nan chu wat wang wat hoi the in hoya kunai ti lo tam so hi azu ula kilomin ka man nan wang ka pu in so hin bal chen me kisun wang tu me the hin na so hi kon chen me tu in tin hiti hin ti le zo oven wat no the thu win na polang wat ai le wom hen hu sung wat ai le but no in. Wow, fantastic. That was on kinin. Lahi ngat si bangasu. Hamaho store hin, hamaho bazaar, hamaho kaithang hin. Lai muna hi shopping mall the hin. Ang kune ding chat de ho azu oven. Si cái bạn nào cái quan cái pha cái gì nào muốn hiện lại hiện tùy amin tùy tiếng sẽ dừng hiện lại tùy hi xăm lại phát là tùy hi liền gì hiện cái pha ông đồng lũ gì thì viên bọn hay sẽ dừng hiện lại hi boating trong gì hiện tu chung vang hiện boating ở ball po viên hiện tại ở bên là cái gạo bà lê lê hiện look amazing và con nào cũng sao tùy không luôn à hiện bọn hay sẽ dừng hiện tại hôm na nôm reng rồi nhìn vì là vì cái thâm chỗ có một riêng cái một số riêng cái tiền là vì thiêng sẽ na mai cái cặp này là có lip đỏ tay cái kia là sẽ nó bị tay anh ấy càng ngã là làm cái tiền là tu hiện cái vả cái tayตัวฮีก็คบอยู่จนนักคงกิจไว้ใต้ก็เลยหอฮีอาสุงอามาไล่วิน oh let's continue the journey Meramec CAVERN tool si sai ka sai ta vin to hi in lam jona ka chi de wai ta in tu ni vlog by jo se enjoy wa hele enjoy now thu hin zi vin nang next video thing le anaki mo ki to ki ta hu te bon si Kevin bye bye see you in my next video